Hello, everybody. We are now joined by ESPN journalist Brian Windhorst, one of the best sports reporters in the world. So we're happy he is here to talk to us a little bit about FIBA and the NBA. Brian, first of all, we were just talking about Manila. How are you enjoying the Philippine experience so far?
It's great to be in a place where basketball is the number one sport. Basketball is popular in America, but it's not the number one sport. And so I've seen so many different people wearing so many different jerseys. And to be at two different malls here in Manila and see NBA stores. There's only one NBA store in America, and there's two here in Manila. So it's terrific to experience that. I love how educated the fans are. I've learned that Filipino fans are very online when it comes to the NBA.
Social media.
Yeah.
Well, the basketball, you mentioned it, right? Did it surprise you, or was it what you expected coming here?
Well, the tournament itself has been surprising because several of the top teams didn't even make it here to Manila. So the tournament's been surprising. The quality of the venues is excellent. Despite Arenado Coliseum being an older venue, it is top class, terrific sight lines. Really loved watching games there. And Mall of Asia Arena is as good of an arena as you will play it internationally I've ever been in the world. It's a high quality arena. So I think that's been really good because some venues I've been to for World Cups over the years have not been quite at the same level. So that's really good. What I also love is how no matter where you go, you see billboards, in the malls, you see, memorabilia and gear. Again, I've been to other World Cups, but that hasn't been the case. So the way the entire city is embracing it, I think it was almost like on the opening day for the Gilas, it was almost like a national holiday. Right. So I thought that was a really cool thing, so that this will be remembered for a lot of people. A lot of people got to experience it, be remembered for a long time.
Speaking of Gilas, Jordan Clarkson had an awesome last game against China where he went off 20 points in about a 4-minute span. That kind of performance, does it have an impact on how he's perceived in the NBA moving forward?
I think he's perceived in the NBA for doing exactly what he did in that game, which is the ability to score a lot of points really fast. And, Jordan has found a niche in the NBA, which is that he will be that guy who is a scorer off the bench. And you can play in the NBA for 15 years and make a lot of money doing it. But he just signed a new extension to do more of that for the Utah Jazz, who are well represented here in Manila. So, I think it's terrific that he embraces this opportunity. He is a megastar here in the Philippines, will be. I mean, to see Chip England, who is on the American coaching staff, who had a great couple of years in the Philippines in the 80s and how it's still respected. I mean, Jordan Clarkson will be respected for decades. And, I think there will be an opportunity for more NBA players going forward. I mean, Kobe recognized the importance of embracing his Filipino fans. And so this is a place where basketball will be respected long into the future. And so once you've been here and put your equity with the fans, they appreciate it forever, I think.
So the big development so far has been Lithuania defeating USA and doing it in, I would say, quite convincing fashion. So two questions from the impact of that. One, does it make the rest of the world confident that they can keep up with the USA in these international tournaments? And now, how do you perceive the final phase of the World Cup, playing out given the quality teams we have competing for the championship?
I think the world already knew that. The U.S. has lost 7 times in the last 3 major events, including exhibitions. France has beaten them a couple of times. Australia's beaten them a couple of times. Lithuania did not come into that game with an intimidation factor. Now, they didn't have Steph Curry and LeBron James and Kevin Durant over there, but you could tell instantaneously Lithuania had confidence, and I've gotten used to seeing that. I've gotten used to seeing the U.S. facing it, and I did not expect the U.S. to go through this undefeated. So that definitely that was already there. The U.S. doesn't have good big men, There are teams in the countries in this world that have great big men and no guards. And what holds them back is their guard play. The U.S. has terrific guards and wings. They do not have great centers. If you go down the NBA, the 30 starters, the majority of them are international players, or they are not eligible to play for the United States. So that's a reality. The U.S. is not a big team, so they come into tournaments looking to play small, and the big teams are going to have success against them. They believe their formula will work. we'll see if it will. I mean, we're gonna do. And so, I will say this: if Lithuania continues shooting 47% from three, which they are in this tournament, and they rebound like this, they probably will win. I would be surprised if they keep shooting this well, but I can't. I mean, it was a brilliant display. They had 9 different guys make three-pointers. This is unheard of in any level of basketball. So, but I think there's going to be. I honestly think I'm not sure about Latvia. I don't want to disrespect them, but honestly, like other than Latvia, who I'm a little skeptical of, I think any of the other 7 teams in the finals, I can see how they could win it. Maybe Italy, I don't know. I don't want to disregard Italy. I mean, they are a little bit of a surprise, but really there are a lot of, I don't really have no idea how it's going to go. It could go a lot of different ways.
Now, speaking of the other teams, one of the guys playing well for Serbia is Nikola Jovic, and ironically, his head coach is coaching USA basketball right now. So I want to mention that as we shift gears to the NBA here, in the sense that, do you think Miami would be hesitant to include Nikola Jovic in any deal? And do you have any updates about the Dame Lillard situation?
As far as I know, there's been no movement or updates on that. But it's not a time to do a trades. Trades don't happen really right now. Trades would happen closer to training camp or start of the season. You know, Jovic is one of those guys who he was not really seen that much during his rookie year, but worked very hard. And he's so young. So you often will see a player that young blossom. And so it's going to be very interesting to see how he translate the way he's played here, which has been really good, to the NBA. Because he will still, when he gets in the NBA, get knocked around a little bit. But my guess is there's a lot of Heat fans that just want ready to throw him in a trade for Dame Lillard. Oh, yeah, we'll give this guy, and this guy. They may not feel that way after they watch him play maybe in the preseason and early season.
Okay. Now, how about the Giannis situation? The Bucks fans have something to be worried about given his recent comments about staying in Milwaukee long term?
Yes. The problem that the Bucks have is that the team has a bunch of 30-year-olds and Giannis is in his 20s. You know, the NBA is not structured for a team to compete for 15 consecutive years. It's not really structured for a team to compete for 5 consecutive years. So the Bucks are already swimming upstream. I don't see how they're going to take this team, which is contending for a championship now, and flip it around to be more Giannis's age. I don't blame them. They won a title with this group. They shouldn't have to worry about that. But Giannis's comments, what I would say is, if you're Milwaukee, try everything you possibly can to win this year. Try everything you possibly can to win next year. And if that's the end of the era, that's the end of the era. You still have a banner up there, and maybe you'll get another one. But if I was a team out there, I would be preparing to try to get Giannis in 2 years.
If you had to guess, which teams would be most interested to prepare, everything they can to get Giannis?
Well, I think what you should do is, instead of opening up your whole team to bring him in, I would try to have a really good team that he wants to join. And it's 2 years away. So I would say, it could be a bunch of different teams. But I honestly think that what matters to him more is winning as opposed to location.
Okay, how about the Paris 2024 Olympics? Now, I'm guessing that the World Cup team of USA won't be exactly the same as it will be for Paris. What are the chances we see more marquee names like LeBron, like Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, and other guys of that level of, eliteness?
Definitely. I think you will definitely see a more star-studded U.S. team. If these guys win, maybe they should consider keeping most of this team, but we'll see. 2021 was still in COVID. It was in Tokyo. 2024 is in Europe, in a great city, a place to be in the summer. So I do think you will see some gigantic names play for the U.S. And I know everybody's just, they qualified and they just move on with their day. But qualifying out of here was very important. So the U.S. will be there. I don't know if all the players understand that the first 2 weeks of that tournament are not going to be in Paris. It's going to be in Lille, which is a city way in the north of France. When they find that out, I don't know how they're going to take that. I think the USA basketball doesn't want anybody to know. Just, yes, it's in Paris. It's in Paris. But I think you will see a star-studded NBA team next year in Paris.
Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Brian Windhorst, everybody.